Hello, I'm Phil Ernest in the back of a tuk-tuk about to go to one of Sukhothai's historic monuments. Sukhothai is a 5.5-hour drive north of Bangkok, or a 1-hour flight from Bangkok. This is the Sukhothai Airport in Thailand. The Sukhothai Airport has the old-style flavor of Thailand, with a pagoda in the middle of the lake to greet you as you get off the airplane. When you exit your airplane, you're picked up in a little shuttle and taken to claim your luggage. The purpose of my trip is to see the ancient historic temples in the city. The temples are a 20-minute tuk-tuk ride from the downtown area of Sukhothai. This is what the entrance to the temple looks like. The entrance fee is 100 Thai baht, which is equivalent to $3 US. You do have the option to rent a bike for 10 baht or take a shuttle for 60 baht, and it'll stop at various stops along the way. I am now at Wat Si Sawai. We're now entering the temple from the Praluang dynasty, which was in existence for 190 years. Now, I'm going to go take a look at the Wat Si Sawai temple. If you're finding this video informative, please give it a thumbs up. And see that logo on the lower right-hand corner of the screen? Please hit that to subscribe to the channel. When I made my decision to visit these monuments, this is what I had pictured in my mind. It certainly has lived up to its billing. Let's go down in here and see what's going on. Birds are flying inside. It's, wow, check that out. Pretty cool. Whoa, birds flying in and out of here all the time. So that's what it looks like inside of one of these ancient temples. So this is Temple 1, and this is the backside view of the temple. In Buddhism, this tree is believed to be holy, for Buddha once received enlightenment while being underneath a tree like this. After visiting the temples, I was quite impressed with the Praluang dynasty and eagerly looking forward to seeing the other temples. So now it's time to get back on the shuttle. The shuttle stops at each temple every 15 minutes. So now I'm going to go take a look at this temple over here, Wat Tepong Nong, and see what this one is all about. Giving the A-OK sign. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And this is one of another iconic Buddha. So right now I am at Wat Si right here. So let's go take a look at what it's all about. Of all the temples in this historic park, I found this one to be the most unique. Not only do you have to cross a bridge to get to it, but also, notice those white specks there in the trees? I'll tell you what that is in a moment. But first, I want to tell you about this bell-shaped structure. This is what is called a stupa. They usually contain a holy relic to the Buddhist faith. Stupas themselves were venerated as symbols of the Buddha. Now that you know a little bit about what a stupa is, I'm going to take a little closer look at this Buddha. In general, whenever you see a Buddha in a park like this, you'll usually see a stupa close by. One of the most fascinating things about this monument park is not only the ancient monuments itself, but the birds that flock to the trees. And take a look at these particular birds. From the different temple stops I did at this historic park, this stop by far had the most birds on the trees. Why were these birds at this particular stop on these trees? I never was able to get a clear answer, but it was eerie, like something out of an Alfred Hitchcock movie. And just when I was getting ready to leave this temple, I came upon this most interesting tree. This is an interesting tree. Take a look at this with the roots on the outside of the trunk as it climbs up and up, up, up. fascinating, almost as though it's one tree engulfing another tree. I'm going to go stand close to one of these big pagodas so you can get an idea on how huge these things are. Here I am next to this big pagoda. Check out how huge this is as I move away, pan out, and show you how tall this pagoda is. And this picture right here illustrates the point. Makes me look like a little ant standing next to it. Thailand. This bell represents happiness. So if you ring it to receive a blessing, you yourself will get a blessing. So let me try. And off in the distance is the monument of King Ramkom, the third king of the Pururung dynasty from 1279 to 1298. For he is the one that is credited for the creation of the Thai alphabet and the firm establishment of Buddhism as the state religion of the kingdom. And so it stands to reason why this king is still highly revered in Thailand to this day. Notice this young lady praying to the king, giving him thanks, holding an incense in one hand and a flower in the other, thanking the king for all he's done for Thailand. The water that is in this historical park is there for the Buddhists to use for their religious ceremonies. Notice the two stupas. The one on the left is a traditional Myanmar stupa. This one is a traditional Thai stupa. This particular Buddha is blessed to have a Myanmar stupa to its right and a traditional Thai stupa to its left. And now I've reached the 10th and final stop of this temple tour. This one, by far, is the biggest and busiest with all kinds of pagodas, stupas, and Buddhas. One of the things I noticed while touring this historical park was not a lot of people that were on the tram got off of the tram. They just stayed on it as it drove them all around the park. If you are physically able to get off of the tram, I highly recommend getting off of the tram and seeing these structures up close. They're beautiful and well worth your time. If you're pressed for time, then I would say get off at the first stop and look at those pagodas and get off at this final stop. Walking through this park is like playing hide and seek. You never know what kind of a Buddha you're about to find behind a layer of bricks. Of all the Buddhas I saw on this day, this one would have to be among my favorite. I like him because he gives the appearance to be standing straight at attention. He also looks like something you would see near the pyramids in Egypt. Overall, if you're ever in the Sukhothai area, I would highly recommend checking out this national park for yourself. It's well worth the price of admission and your time. Two of the biggest Buddhas in this historical park happen to be at this last stop. This is one of those Buddhas. And right around the corner from this Buddha is the other big Buddha, this one right here. While these two Buddhas are big, they don't nearly measure up to the biggest Buddha in the area. That Buddha I will be visiting next. So this concludes this tour of this historical park. However, there is one more historical park worth seeing, and that is a 10-minute tuk-tuk ride away to this historical park to see the biggest Buddha in the area. Well, the Buddha may not look that big from this far away. As you approach it, you will certainly see it is huge in structure. And right through these doors you go, and there you'll see it. As a reference point, notice how big it is compared to these two people standing next to it. In the Buddhist faith, it is tradition to bring offerings to the Buddha. Notice these two ladies giving flowers at its side. Two more things worth mentioning: this smaller Buddha residing next to the larger one, and a 200-year-old mango tree. If you'd like to see my other videos on Thailand, please click on the link now. Thank you so much for watching.